Hey, thanks for coming and checking out this slideshow I made. I had the fortune in the summer of 2010 to spend 4 weeks in the northern Palawan area of the Philippines. I kind of had to avoid hotels because I had so little money after our furlough Fridays here as teachers in the state of Hawaii. I had enough for my backpack and kayak, and that's kind of how I spent my time. It ended up being a blessing as I was able to really get out there and do it right. Trip started in Lihui, of course. Philippine Airlines ran a $700 round trip from Lihui to Manila deal. Couldn't quite resist it. Now, of course, our flight didn't exactly hover over Hanapu, but since I was flying this Google Earth simulator, I figured that's the way I'd go. So anyway, real trip took about 11 hours, not 11 seconds. And we landed in Manila. Where I had to spend a night, possibly the world's smallest 500 peso hotel room, but I changed my dollars into pesos and got the heck out of there and flew to the island of Busuanga, kind of a Kauai-sized island, and hitched a ride up to the south coast, and hiked a little hill to catch the view of where it was to paddle, and looked just fine. The island had an indigenous people called the Tagmanua. They were real friendly people, seafaring gypsies, the sea gypsies, and they'd come and go and do whatever they did. We spoke a little Visayan together, not a whole lot of English. Got hit by a squall the first day also, and kicked my butt. Was with some other people, and their kids were playing, so I joined them and kind of ended up having a kind of a fun time. Funnest thing to do in a squall. I base camped out of Caron Town in a place called the Sea Dive. Right there was my room, right on the water. Little restaurant right on the water. Great place, under $10 a night. Stella. And I'd paddle in and out and all about for the 2 weeks I was in that particular region. So under $10 got me a nice room. The beautiful view. Every night at this place was an incredible sunset, and the fish and the food were just great. Well, mostly Europeans. I met one American, and got to, where are you from? The guy was from Samar Drive, the same street I grew up on when I was a kid. And he was out on business and with his gal, and invited me. Hey, I'm going deep. You wanna come aboard, and I'll just drop you off and maybe pick you up. So that changed everything. I deflated my boat, put it on his and backpack, and was off on a new adventure quite quickly now. It was a few days into the trip, and we were off to Culion Island. And it's an ancient place, tons of history. Spanish were there in the 1700s, and got out there. Steve's brother-in-law was a amazing guy, well armed, kind of bodyguard. And soon enough, I was way out there by myself again, kind of wondering why I didn't bring more food on this little remote island, looking at my canned tuna, when kind of out of nowhere, a bunch of other boats came up and asked, "Hey, would you guys mind if, would you mind if our little party happened here?" Of course not. And the first thing they trucked in was a roast pig, and it certainly didn't stop there. Really had fun. Met up with Steve another time, and we found this guide, Tagmanua guy, who led us into the oldest mission in the Philippines, kind of through the jungle, in the rain and thunder lightning at the time. We found it. It was pretty ancient. It was tough to get photos in the rain. But the guide took us to his little place. Cell phone was totally wasted. Actually, I washed it. Took it to a cell phone place. The guy took it apart, dried it up, fixed it. Amazing. Filipino sage writing on the wall here. Met another Filipino local guide that became my bro. He just kind of took me out and about. We went diving at some Japanese wrecks where the Americans had bombed and they sank, and it was pretty cool stuff. Made it back to the island of town of Coron to paddle around the island of Coron. And it was going to be kind of hairy because it was a long island with open seas that I was told there's only a few landings and tribal peoples, and I was going to spin around it and take 4 days or so. There's a couple villages out there that we were told not to go to because the tribe doesn't want it. And I was going to spin around to the area that I first checked out. So I took an afternoon start and had my first camp. First night around the island, Coron Island. Great thunder showers going on out there. Nobody around. A couple fishermen out to sea.